He was one of the youngest officers to have dropped bombs on Karachi in 71 war.
You know how Indians are known for making these kinds of mistakes, which are in fact known as Indianisms. How did you fall in love with English? Was it your first love? So then from there, how did the transition happen from college teaching to school classroom?
That's also it. Mistakes are very important. You don't make mistakes shows you haven't made an effort. क्योंकि याद रखना, गिरते हैं शह सवारी मैदान जंग में, वो क्या गिरेंगे जो घुटनों के बल चले. So errors are very important for your success. Make them, correct them, move ahead. God bless you and thank you.
Hello and welcome to another sparkling episode of Tales, Teachings and Beyond. Today we have a very special person with us, Miss Alka Rai. She is a storyteller, a teacher, a mentor, a teacher trainer, an author of books and whatnot. I mean, the list is endless. Believe me, get ready for some laughter, some wisdom, some grammar lessons, and you need to take a notebook along with you to take notes. So let's welcome Miss Alka Rai. Welcome so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Rajni. I'm honored to be here. It's such a pleasure being here and talking to you. And I'm looking forward to this chit chat that we are going to have with our viewers, teachers, children. बहुत कुछ है देखने के लिए.
Absolutely. So, ma'am, let's start at the very beginning. How
Always.
did you decide to become, how did you fall in love with English? Was it your first love or did it grow on you? Or was there someone who introduced English to you?
As you said, let's begin at the beginning. Always the right place to do, as the song says. Yeah.
Yes.
So where did English come into my life? Ever since I started school.
Okay.
I was sent to a mission school early in my life. I started my education there. And my father's family has been known to be very Angrez-minded family, not my mother's family.
Okay.
And so when I went to the school, and that was a school which believed in immersion method.
Okay.
I was surrounded by English.
Lovely.
And should I call it good luck, fortune, or will I sound very, snobbish if I say that I had, genuine Brit teachers to teach me as a kid. And that made a lot of difference to the way I learnt English. They couldn't speak Hindi. I still remember my mother coming to pick me up. The school used to get over at 2:30 and she landed at 1:30. My teacher said, Abhi chutti nahi, abhi sara ek, chutti sara do. So that was the Hindi they knew and my mother had a hearty laugh. So naturally you had no option but to learn because you had to communicate with your teachers. And that was my, falling in love with the language, the rhythm it has, the way those teachers, they were wonderful teachers, the way they spoke. And then gradually being a loner, I've been a loner. I have not been the kind who goes out and plays and, So I would be with the books and I used to love reading. Whatever little stories I could read, whatever I could make out part of it, not all of it. But it was so fascinating.
But
And
was there ever a time when you felt that it's hard and
it was hard because, what was hard? I think most of the students will agree with me. Learning the grammar rules.
oh,
But having said that, and in spite of having said that, let me say that we believed, when I say we, I mean my school, we believed that you learn language by the ear. So we may not have been very aware of the rules. Of course, we were made to learn noun is a name of a person, place, or a thing. Verb is a word which shows an action. Adjective is a word which qualifies the noun. We learned those definitions and we could underline the relevant words in the sentences. We did all that. But I knew that my other friends in my neighborhood who were not studying in my school, who came from Hindi medium, they would say, "अरे ये gerund है, ये participle." I said, "वो तो मुझे नहीं पता, पर जो अंग्रेजी मैं लिखती बोलती हूँ वो ज़्यादा सही है." because I knew the language. So what I felt was, that grammar you learn, and we'll talk about it later also. Grammar is learned for a very different reason. The concept that you will learn the language with grammar is not right. It's because I am a living example of that. I learned language by the ear, and being introduced to those wonderful stories, and we had those books which later on became Indianized Radiant readers, and initially it was Radiant way up to KG3, KG1, KG2, KG3, and then Standard 1 we had Radiant readers. These were originally from back home in England.
Okay.
Beautiful glossy papers, lovely pictures. So those pictures are, that's why I still feel when I write a book for a child, I feel it has to have very big pictorial quality to it, because that is what fascinates the child to read. And, when reading, two things used to happen to me. So where do these writers find all these wonderful words to express themselves? Will I be able to do that ever in my life? And second was, I want to read more and more and more. So the school where I studied, being a mission school, used to have a class for the Christian girls. It was called the scripture class.
Okay.
But like now they do, it's not your subject, so you go out of the room. We were not allowed to do that. So we took the back seat and they sat in front.
Okay.
And they did their scripture class. So we could do whatever we were doing without speaking. No sound should come. So we had class libraries. We'd pick up a book from there and read. And sometimes those Bible stories were so interesting. I would listen to them many times, answer the questions that the teacher asked. He says, look at her. She knows the answers, And because I could read the stories, I think it was the stories that attracted me towards English more than anything else. And when I did my MA in English, I said, I'll get to read lovely books, little realizing there was more to it than just reading. It is not just reading, it's stories. You have to do so much more, you have to go beyond it. So that happened later, but then I was hooked.
So talking about, you talked about doing your MA. So after that, you also started teaching in the college. So tell us about that.
Yeah, you see, after my time, I did my MA in 1969. And those days, there were no 90%, 98%. It was, you got a 60%, you were a first divisioner, and you were great. And the top 5 in the university were called merit holders. So I was a merit holder.
Lovely. One can make out.
I was a merit holder. And for the previous 4 or 5 years, the Public Service Commission had not advertised any posts for English lecturers.
Okay.
But that year they did. So they had a backlog to clear.
Okay.
About 250 or 300 candidates appearing at that time. I also filled my forms. My professors told me, you're going to have a tough time, young lady.
Okay.
I said, why? He says, you're a merit holder. So they're going to grill you nice and proper. So for that, I had to appear for the Public Service Commission exam, the State Public Service Commission interview.
Okay.
So I went to Indore, and the day I had my interview, my mother, of course, accompanied me, chaperoned me to that place. And I saw people going in, coming out in 5 minutes. So I said, 5 minutes mein ho jayega. Now, I was called in, I went,
Yes.
and my mother is very,
Praying
she's
for you.
worried, she's praying, ki pata nahi kya hoega, ki hoega meri teenal, and all that, that was happening.
All full of anxiety. Yeah.
Very anxiety. To top it there, one of my lecturers who later on became my head of the department, God rest her soul in peace. Her daughter was there, and she wanted that I should not get and her daughter should get. And of course, she had some friends who were experts over there. Anyway, now my interview, my mother said people were coming out in 4 minutes, 5 minutes, but her daughter is gone and she's gone.
Okay.
She's not coming out. So she was very apprehensive. And then she went and asked the PM there. He says, वो मेरी बेटी का अंदर इंटरव्यू हो रहा है और अभी तक आई नहीं. He says, कितना देर हो गया? He says, 45 मिनट तो हो गए. तो और he says, अभी चल रहा है इंटरव्यू. My mother,
Yes.
So he said, अरे खुश हो जाइए. इतना लंबा इंटरव्यू मतलब बहुत अच्छा हो रहा है.
Okay. Okay.
And so that was the interview I had. I came out and we came home, and I was told that the moment you're rejected, they send you a pink slip.
Okay.
Selection is not told. So when I came home, I refused to look at the postman. Every time the postman आता ना, postman wala. So I said, Rita, तुम जाके देखो, and then see what has come, what color letter has come.
Is it a pink slip or
No,
what?
so I did not get the pink slip, and that is where I got my college lecturer's job. It was a gazetted post. I was a gazetted officer in my own right. And I was posted to Girls Degree College, Bilaspur in Chhattisgarh, the MP, Chhattisgarh wala,
Okay.
Bilaspur. I was there, and when I joined, within 20 days, my father passed away. So I got my transfer back to Jabalpur. And there I taught. So, but the day I joined, they gave me the postgrads.
Okay.
And so I continued teaching postgrads and undergrads.
That also must have been very challenging, teaching postgrads.
Oh, it was so challenging. I'm a brand new lecturer who has done limited studies, and then you give me, all of a sudden you give me people like Bertrand Russell and all. Oh God. So, but I have to teach.
And at that age, one is young and fresh,
Yeah.
and dealing with you don't know anything about
Exactly.
classroom
No.
management.
But I know, because when I went in for the interview, they asked me, okay, Miss Luthra, who is your favorite writer? So at that age, I think everyone just loves Thomas Hardy. So I said, Thomas Hardy. So they looked at each other. I says, looks like Hardy's been canvassing very hard. And then, not to let me have it easy, they said, okay, parting shot, one question you have to answer. So I said, okay. I said, pata nahi kya पूछने वाले? So they said, what would you like to be known as? An uninterested teacher of English literature or a disinterested teacher of English literature?
Tough one.
So people had gotten into the hassle of making a difference between un and dis.
Yeah.
So I gave them a very sweet smile. I said, neither, sir. I would like to be known as a very interested teacher of English literature. And they loved that answer.
Yes. Yes.
So, what it made you do was think on your feet. Rajni, many a times in the classroom, we are faced with situations
Yes.
where you get students to ask you questions which you have not even thought of, you have not imagined. And you have to think on your feet at that time. So I think somewhere it was preparing me to think on my feet, So when I had to teach Bertrand Russell, I said, Acha, bhaiya, I will read Bertrand Russell, but let me see how much I understand, because you see, at that age, you don't have the mental maturity to understand philosophical writers like Russell. It comes in much later in life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But you were a very interested teacher of English as well as a very interesting teacher of English.
Yes, I've been told that. I've been a very interesting teacher of English, yes.
So, ma'am, from there, how did the transition happen from college teaching to school classroom?
That's also very interesting. I was teaching, I was posted to Home Science College, Jabalpur. It's called Home Science College because you see, one of the three oldest or four oldest home science colleges, that is one of them in India. And it actually has three different colleges together. It's a girls' college. It had Government Science College, Mankorbai Kanya Kala Mahavidyalaya, and Mohanlal Hargovindas Graha Vigyan Mahavidyalaya. So these three formed, and generally known as Home Science College. I was teaching there and determined not to get married because we are just two sisters. My father had passed away. My sister is 6 years younger to me. So I felt that, that
you had the responsibility.
I am the man of the house. So, but my husband's cousins were studying there.
Okay.
One of them, both of them I taught. So there Taiji must have asked कि भाई तुम्हारे भाई के लिए Air Force में है, इसके लिए कोई तुमको दिखती नहीं है? जैसे एक है तो सही. And in all humility, let me accept. They said बड़ी hot है दिखने में. So she said, अच्छा तो बात करा दे. So they approached my mother. They approached another lecturer who came to me and she says, तेरे लिए कोई पूछ रहा था. मैंने कहा कौन पूछ रहा था, फालतू बात मत कर. She says, नहीं मैं तो आंटी को फ़ोन कर रही हूँ, तू तो मानेगी नहीं. So she called my mother. So mummy said, ठीक है, बात करा दे. And then my husband's aunt, his sister, aunt means bua, and these girls, inki mother, मतलब चाची, and my Nanand, to be Nanand at that time, they came to college.
Okay.
There's a huge college. You enter, the staircase in front, you can either take right or you can take left and go ahead. So I turned left and I saw this gang standing there. I said, now they've seen me. I cannot go back.
Okay.
Up the chalo. So I went, I met them, I took them to the canteen, had a cup of tea, and they told my mother-in-law, okay, we like the girl. So it is that destiny brought this Air Force officer into my life. Arranged marriage. And my mother was hell-bent कि शादी तो करना है. मैं कहती थी नहीं करना है, तो हमारा झगड़ा रोज होता था इसलिए. But then I suppose, when you're destined to get hooked with somebody, it just happens. And my husband was a flyer.
Okay.
He was a Canberra person. And there was no flying station in MP.
Okay.
Canberra to सवाल ही नहीं उठता था.
Okay. Tell us about what is Canberra.
Canberra is a bomber.
Okay, so he used to fly
Bombers.
bomber planes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so a war hero.
Yeah, he was. But he was too young to be honored at that time because there were seniors who needed to be given the awards. So it just worked out. I don't know how. I mean, I was doing my research. I left that in between and got married to him. And he was in Agra at that time. Now, Agra was the Makkah Medina of the Canberra people, because that organization which used to train them, because now Canberras are no longer there, which used to train them on Canberras, was in Agra, JBCU. Okay, so then he said कि I said तुम तो field में जाओगे तो he says Air Force में कोई field station नहीं होता. So we have to be together.
Okay.
And then so gradually I accepted that, and what people never thought I would do, I resigned.
Okay.
I'm told even today कि आपने क्या किया, because my juniors became principals, college के, and where would you have reached?
Yeah.
But Rajni, no regrets, because I was a grown-up woman. I took a decision. My mother had to be made happy with what, she didn't want her daughter is growing old and things like that,
Yes.
So I got married and moved to Agra with my husband, and I took that period off. Then within 1 year we went to Baroda. I was there at that time, and Baroda I was approached. My elder son was born there, and I was approached by a lecturer who was a friend of another Air Force couple. And she was teaching in the university. She says, Alka, we are looking for somebody to come and fill in this post for a year or so.
Okay.
Why don't you? I said, my kid is very small and I'm living in Makarpura and university is in Sayaji Park. So it is very far. I cannot leave my child the whole day. मैं जाऊंगी एक क्लास तुमने एक रखी फिर 2 घंटे के बाद रखी, and my commuting time, so I didn't accept that job. And while my children were small, I didn't take up any work. But when we got posted to Jaisalmer, that time Rajasthan, and because Agra, from Agra we went to Baroda, and that's what happened. From Baroda, 3.5 years later, went back to Agra again, stayed on for 5 years, and then went to Jaisalmer. And there, the Air Force school, they already had a headmistress working, and when she went, I was asked to take over. So I did that for a very short while because my husband got posted out back to Baroda. But this time when I went to the university for the job, so the head of the department looked at me, he says, where are you from, Jabalpur and all that. So he thought, aise hi hoga. Who taught you? So I gave him my head of the department's name who taught me. I said, Dr. Swaminathan, you're Swami's student? Come and join us.
Oh, okay.
You know?
No, but before we move on, I have to make this comment that, everywhere one talks about the sacrifices of other army people, the air force people, but the sacrifices that the family has to make is something that
It's
totally goes
the
undocumented.
family is the strength of these Fauji's. You see, if the women don't take over,
Yes.
we hold the fort when they are away. Now look at my daughter-in-law.
Yes.
She's shuffling between Delhi and Jammu because husband is there and she has a work here. And every 10 days, Mom, I'm in Jammu for 3 days, coming back. Power is already booked. But so, that is how it is.
Yes.
So you do so much.
Yes.
People say that Fauji wives have an easy time. No, no. We are everything rolled into one. Aya, babysitter, cook, Mem Saab, everything rolled into one.
Very true, very true.
Everything rolled into
And you have to give up on your careers. I mean,
Yes, I did. And so then, when he asked for me and Swami student come, that's what I would like to definitely talk about, the teachers who influenced me, Rajni. I had some fantastic teachers in school. I had this, all of them were fantastic, but two that really are responsible, or I can give them credit for what I am as a teacher today. One was our English teacher who also taught us geography. She was a Keralite. Her English had no touch of vernacular influence. And she was fantastic. Okay? So when she taught us Shakespeare, and she said, the more you quote, the more marks I give you, but you support your answer from the text. We learned the whole As You Like It by heart.
Oh.
Because we had to quote. And the way she used to explain, and even geography, so those two subjects I love.
Yes.
The second person, he passed away some time back. He became the MP High Court, he became the Advocate General over there.
Okay, okay.
He was from a Hindi medium school whose father passed away early. This man's command over Hindi, English and Sanskrit was incredible. And he used to teach us, civics bhi padhate the humko, और Sanskrit bhi padhate the. So he, when annual day hota tha, to Hindi play, he was responsible for it,
Okay.
So he would make us sit there and make us rehearse. So he says, Abhi bolo, and intonation. Un dino Vivid Bharati pe there used to be a natak aata tha raat mein. So that was only a radio drama. You can't see.
Yes.
So he says, I'm going to shut my eyes, and the way you said the dialogue, I should be able to visualize it. So that's where we learned voice intonation.
Amazing, amazing. In fact, the way you are giving credit to your teachers, I'm sure your students give credit to you when they
I
talk
hope
about
so.
you.
I sincerely hope so.
No, they do.
Because
I've met some of
I
your students, and they talk about you in the same vein. When
because
you say,
I'm influenced by them, my
Yes.
own teachers, you see.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
he was the one who introduced to us so many things. Like even when he taught us the Sanskrit shlokas, he taught us how to recite them. बोलना नहीं है, recite करना है.
recite करना.
And अभी तक मुझे याद है एक dialogue. If you don't mind, I would like to give you that
Absolutely.
dialogue. You know,
Yes.
we were doing a play. It was one of those plays जो कहीं आते थे. And he says, मुझे वो भोपाली सुरमे वाले का रोल करना था.
Okay.
But I would not go on the stage. वहाँ जाके मुझे कोच. He says, इतना अच्छा यहाँ बोलती वहाँ ऐसे नहीं सर, वहाँ अमरजीत को भेज दो, वहाँ मैं नहीं जाऊँगी. But this dialogue was कि सुरमे वाला सुरमा बेच रहा है और मुँह में पान है उसके.
Okay.
पान की गिलौरी है.
Okay.
सो अब मैंने बोला, अमरजीत कहती मैं ऐसा नहीं कर पाऊंगी. मैंने कहा जो करेगी तू कर स्टेज पे, पर स्टेज पे मैं नहीं जाऊंगी.
Okay.
सो दिस डायलॉग वाज कि हमारे दादा के दादा के दादा ऐसा सुरमा बनाते थे, ऐसा सुरमा बनाते थे कि एक बार तो अंधी आंखों में भी रोशनी आ जाए, चाहे फिर चली जाए.
Amazing, amazing. This is so beautiful. Absolutely love it, love it. I think it's from there that you went into storytelling.
Storytelling I've always done, but वहाँ फिर it became a little more pronounced, you know. And he taught us how to do the Sanskrit shlokas. He taught us the importance of being not just a, bookish learner.
Okay.
So he said, and some of those shlokas I can't forget. It says, Sahitya Sangeet Kala Vihin, Sakshat Pashu Puchha Vishanahin.
अरे वाह यानी साहित्य संगीत और
कला विहीन, अगर वो नहीं है, उसका ज्ञान नहीं है, ये नहीं कि आप गा सकते हो, पर अप्रिसिएशन, उसकी समझ, कला की समझ, थोड़ी बहुत कला आनी चाहिए. लाइक इफ आई हैव पुट दिस फ्लावर हियर, आई वुड वांट टू डू समथिंग मोर, यू नो, बैठे बैठे कि मैं इसको थोड़ा और ऐसा कर दूं, यू नो, एंड एस्थेटिक सेंस.
यस
सो ही सेज पशु भी खाना खा लेते हैं, दे ऑल्सो ब्रीड,
यस
you know, animal functions and
Okay,
everyone
wow.
does.
Yes,
So as a human being, we have to go beyond that. Okay, so that is where, you know, it got embedded so deeply.
And ma'am, it is relevant even today also.
It is.
You know, with the coming of AI,
Huh.
what you are saying, the animal functions is something that AI would be able to do. Whatever is, you know,
AI is, you
robotic,
know,
whatever can be
yeah,
automated, they'll be able to do.
Absolutely.
It's our aesthetic sense, I think.
Aesthetic sense.
Our
and
creativity.
That is where I would like to say something to the teachers also over here, Rajni. See, where the books are concerned, there's so much of health material available in the market. As to pass an exam, a student will refer to those books and pass the exam. What is it that you bring to the classroom?
Yes.
Have you read enough? Do you know enough? Can you go beyond the textbook? Can you bring it alive in the classroom?
Yes. Yes. Teachers, take note.
So
coming from,
that,
you know,
and that is what I've done. You talk to my students, they would say, like there was this poem, "Success is counted sweetest."
by those who
I
never
really,
succeed.
yeah, I never opened the book. I said, don't open your books.
Yes.
Just listen to me. Recited once, recited twice, thrice. I said, what did you understand?
Can we have, you know, one or two lines? You
No,
know, it's such
I would like the text with me if you have it, you know, if you
Yes,
can
absolutely.
just. Success is counted sweetest by those who never succeed. To understand the nectar requires sorest need. Not one of all the purple host who took the flag today can tell the definition so clear of victory as he, defeated, dying, on whose forbidden ear the distant strains of triumph break agonized and clear. So the way you intonate a poem,
Yes.
the way you intonate it should bring about the sense. First thing you need to understand is the sense the poem wants to convey. And the way you intonate it, you know, where the pauses should come. This third verse may be a third verse, but read it along with that line. So, see, not one of all the purple host who took the flag today can tell the definition so clear of victory as he,
Yes. Who is lying
defeated, dying,
Yes.
on whose forbidden ear. Why is the ear forbidden? It is not forbidden ear. It is the sound that is forbidden for him because it is not meant for him.
Yes. Yes.
The sound of celebration is not meant for him.
Yes. For him, it's the agony.
It's agony.
But he is craving, you know, he
He
wants.
wants, but he cannot. I mean,
cannot.
you're making him more anguished at that time.
Yes.
His agony is increasing. And that's why that sound should not come to him. It is forbidden for him. But ask him what victory means.
Yes.
Because there's a saying in Hindi, भूख के आगे जौ भी जलेबी.
Very true. Very true.
It's the need that gives value to what you want.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Something you achieve easily, you don't value. So nothing should come easy.
So, once again, you know, what pleasure your classes must have been. I can listen to you the whole day, ma'am. But so you've always been, you know, this amazing teacher who brought literature to life. But you have also been a great storyteller.
Yeah.
And you know, associated with theatre.
Yeah.
So tell us more about it.
See, I don't know. I always, when I moved out, I saw people. And because I was a very quiet kid, which meant I was a very observant kid. Okay?
Yes.
So when you're observing people and you're looking at a person and saying, okay, why does he look like this? What does the expression on his face say? What must have happened in his house today?
Okay, so it's also about literature. It's also about giving
Yes,
a
because
character to the people.
yes, so that's where you learned your characterization. That's where you learned that people are not flat characters; they are rounded characters.
Yes, yes. They have a background story.
They have a back. They have multiple facets to them. They are not like Dickensian characters flat.
Yes.
They are only human beings are not caricatures like Dickens characters.
They are.
We are well-rounded people. I'm something with you. I'll be somebody else with somebody else. You might find me a very, very Kalima ka roop with my maidservant, for all you know. But that is what I am. And why does it come out? What happens? What is the igniting point for a certain characteristic to come out? And so I would look at people and say, okay, poor chap, this guy is looking very happy, must have found something nice must have happened at home. So, it made me very observant. And that's why when I come down to creative writing, and I do workshops on that, I train teachers and children on creative writing, my first contention is, first learn to observe creatively.
Okay, yes. Teachers, students take note.
If there is no creative observation, no creativity is going to happen, believe you me. There has to be creative observation.
Okay.
So you can see a tree. The children are sitting in the class. From the window, you show them a tree. Now, what do you see over there? There's a tree. What do you see in the tree? They'll give you a pass. There's a trunk, there are branches, there are leaves. What do you see in the trunk?
Okay.
The different hues. That brown color, but different hues. Now you start getting the different names for that, building up your vocabulary. And if you see the ribbing or the design on the tree, each will have something different to show you. Like you look at the clouds, sometimes you'll see a face, sometimes you'll see a hair, sometimes, so observe.
Yes.
So now you look at the tree and then you say, okay, the branches. Rajni, I have been so enamored of a tree without branches and keep on looking at, the way the branches are going. I mean, who designed it? How beautiful it is. And my niece, doing engineering, she says, Masi, you can look at that and talk so much. I said, yeah, look at it with my eyes, how beautiful it is.
And that's such an amazing way to, nurture creativity in the classroom.
Yeah, so now you look at the trees, the leaves, green. What green are they?
Yes. So
different shades of green. Are there different colors? No. Why not? They could be different colors also, depending on the age of the leaf.
Yes.
They look different colors. They could be different colors, but they look different colors. They're two different things.
Yes.
They look different colors because of the play of light and shade.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what else do you see in the tree? The birds are there chirping. What does a tree do? Now think of when a strong breeze blows. What happens? The tree sways. It's like a human being at that time, trying to find its balance in a place which is not even.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah?
Yes. Very true.
And in the forest, I mean, if you're going in an orchard or, in woods, and the soft breeze that blows, and you can hear the sound of the breeze, and you feel, okay, the breeze and the tree are talking to each other.
Yes, whispering.
Whispering.
Sweet nothings. Or maybe, things that make
now
you happy.
Now I've started, and you'll find each child will come out with something, and no child is wrong.
Yes.
No child is wrong. The moment you say you're wrong, you're curtailing his creativity.
Yes.
Creativity is allow that freedom to think and express. So what do you feel? Write 2 words about it quickly so that you don't forget. So those 2 words are written. They can always use those words when they want to write about the tree. Now that same tree becomes a topic for your research or postgraduate research when you start talking of, how we are suffering because of the loss of trees and everything. You can imagine from where you can take it to where.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a great teacher only can do justice to something like this. But even mere mortals like us should take note and allow students to express their creativity in such a manner. I'm
Absolutely.
sure all teachers of English who are watching this, learn from the master. This is one of the biggest challenges that we face nowadays in teaching of English is that it is being taught like a subject. People, they just read out a text to the students, they translate it, make them write the question answer, and that's the end of it. It's so dull and so dry, and then you expect people to fall in love with literature. It's not possible. This is how literature should be taught, and this is how love for literature should be
You
generated.
have to create that love for the language. And learning language, I must talk about this because we have people coming with postgraduate degrees and their language is horrible. Why? What I found as a school teacher, Rajni, was that teaching English is only the English teacher's responsibility. I remember the school where I studied, in my maths, I was not very good with maths as it is. And then on top of that, if you made a spelling error, if there was a structural error, you lost marks.
Okay, so other subject people also paid attention.
It's application.
Yes.
Application. Geography, I better be writing correct English, especially when your teacher happens to be English teacher also. History, you better be writing correctly. Even physics, chemistry, your statements have to be very accurate. Why is there no comma here? There should be a semicolon here. There should be a this thing there. There should be that over there. Arre baapre. So that's what I say, we learnt language by the ear and by application.
Yes.
Not by grammar rules. Grammar rules were taught because you must know, if you've made an error, you should know why that error is there. Then you go back to the grammar and say, okay, this is the error and I need to do this.
Yes.
Self-correction.
Nowadays, people are not teaching punctuation at all. And,
they forget the function of punctuation.
Exactly. So, the meaning, what we say in Hindi, के अर्थ का अनर्थ
बहुत हो रहा है, बहुत हो रहा है. और मेरा एक दिन मैंने पूछा एक से, मैंने कहा आप जानते हैं पंक्चुएशन किस लिए लगाए जाते हैं?
जी.
अरे हाँ मैडम, वो लगाना पड़ता है ना, कॉमा, ये पॉज है, ये फुल स्टॉप है. क्यों? क्योंकि they are graphic representations of your intonation.
Yes, yes.
How do I know I'm asking a question? Yes. Because when I'm speaking, my falling tone, my rising tone will be there to tell.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
But how do I indicate that this given sentence here is a question? I put that question mark. I also state what tone it should take.
I mean, it's so important.
It's very important. Because, that whole concept, and then I used to have parents coming saying, Madam, isko grammar sikha do. I said, मैं grammar सिखा दूंगी पर English नहीं सिखा पाऊंगी.
They
English
forget that it moves in conjunction.
No, why?
You can't have one without the other.
We need, in India, we need to teach grammar because it's a second language.
Yes, absolutely.
When you're teaching English as a second language, grammar becomes an important part of it. It's an essential part of it. I understand that. But you can't say that I will first teach grammar and then teach language. No, you first teach language, let them read literature, teach language, and then come to grammar. Take up from there and say, see, this is what it is, and come to the rule after that.
Yes.
Okay. So, wo nahi ho raha hai. And sometimes I really feel like, I think I've lost a lot of hair pulling it out.
So, what about theatre? I mean,
theatre, yeah. As I told you, I wanted to be an actor.
Oh.
But I knew that I was camera shy and he won't agree with it. But I could not do that. I could not go on the stage. But Rajni, I used to prepare my sister. Mm-hmm. I used to prepare her for her recitations. She used to win the contest. I used to even prepare her for essay writing. She used to win the contest.
So drama, you were a better director, I guess.
I'm more of a director.
Yes.
I'm more of a director.
Yes.
So I used to tell my father, I said, I do all the work. I work hard and people clap for her. So my father looked at me. Says, "Beta, when B.R. Chopra makes a film, people only clap for Sunil Dutt, not for the director." So I said, "That's not fair." So he says, "No, but that's how it is."
Yes.
So that, I know I can act. I'm an actor. That stage fright is a different story. Today I can do it.
Okay.
Today I have the confidence. But at that age, I didn't have that confidence. So for me, storytelling also became a great teaching thing when my elder child was born.
Okay.
I would forget my husband has to come home for lunch, khana banana. No, I'm there with my little baby and I'm telling him stories. Baba, you see this cup? You know, one man did this and he did this with that and he got a nice cup. We like it, no? He got so used to it.
Okay.
He would sit and say, Mama, वो बड़ा टैंक का story सुनाओ.
Oh, okay.
So everything was taught to him in the form of a story.
Yeah.
And gradually I understood, you don't have to do it in any other way. And I also, out of curiosity, I was, I would read Aesop's fables and I read that. And I said, okay, they were not taught storytelling, but what we're doing, look at Guru Nanak, look at the sages, look at the under the tree storytellers.
Yeah.
What were they doing? They were actually teaching.
Yes. Yes.
They were teaching, but they did not say, this is what you must do. No, they gave you stories
Yes.
and made you think and arrive at the lesson that you
Lesson
needed to
that
learn
you
from
needed
there.
to learn.
Then grandmas. Now, grandma's telling a story to a horde of grandchildren and she's saying, and then फिर वो शेर को उसने जगाया और शेर जोर से दहाड़ा.
Wow.
The lion roared. Do I need to teach the meaning of dahada or roared?
No, you don't. Because you are acting it out.
I've done it.
Yes.
Next time the child reads that word, the child knows exactly what is happening.
True. Very true.
So grandmothers, the uneducated grandmothers, they were not highly educated, but they are the ones who were helping build the children their vocabulary. They were,
Transmitting values.
values. They were teaching them creativity. Because अब तुम कहानी सुनाओ. अब तुम सुनाओ कहानी. मैंने सुनाई ना. दादी वही कहानी सुना दो. हाँ वो सुना दो.
And then they would, turn it and adapt
Yeah,
it. And,
and I did this with my grandson. I think if you have time, I would like to share this little anecdote.
Please.
He was very small and at that time, very fascinated by going to the space and rocket and all. So he would come and sit on my tummy. Daddy, अच्छा लगता ऊपर नीचे जाता है. I said, okay. So Daddy, rocket ka story sunao. So now my husband, Air Force officer, he says, Baba, this, that, Neil Armstrong. I said, hold on, you stop.
I will
So
tell
he
the
says,
story.
so he said, Dadi will tell. Dadi will tell. So Dadi told him, the story कि वो ऐसा रॉकेट बनाया, फिर वो एक आदमी उसमें ऐसा स्विच होता है, वो स्विच देखा ना, ऐसा उसमें भी स्विच होता है. So he did that, और फिर उसने रॉकेट को ना वो स्विच ऑन किया, वो अंदर चले गया, वो सब दादी वो पहना space suit. He wore space suit. I said, yeah, he wore a space suit and he went inside. Then he switched on. Then I said, then the rocket took off.
Oh. Child must be so excited. Yes.
What happened? Took off.
Okay.
He also did. So and then the rocket kept on going far and far and far and far away it went.
Okay.
What do I need to teach the child after this? To explain the concept of far?
Yes.
Then the
Nothing
rocket came back, it started coming back, came to Earth, and then it landed. Took off, landed, rocket,
Far.
far.
Yes.
For a 2.5-year-old, enough vocabulary.
A lot of vocabulary. And lot of understanding.
So my grandson also reads a lot. He wrote a wonderful review of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in class 4.
Oh, lovely. That's so amazing.
Because his mother, when she does review, she does a lot of book reviews. And then she said, Mom, can I do it for you? Okay, that's books which he can read. So he would tell, Mama, isme ye hai, it is like this. So, you have to inculcate the habit of reading also, because without reading, nothing happens. And if parents don't read, children don't read.
Very true. I tell my children that when you want to read a book, go to the market and shop for it like you would shop for probably a dress for a party, or something that you would really like. So books cannot be, just someone cannot prescribe it for you. Look for it, read the
Read
blurb,
what you like.
look at the pictures, and whatever is
Whatever.
your
Yeah,
area
yeah,
of interest.
absolutely.
Pick something that.
Last year coming from Bangalore, I paid 4,000 baggage extra because I was carrying books from there.
Okay, there goes the love for books.
No, my house, the only thing you'll find is books. Both my children, me, because all of us are readers. We are always with books. We are not great conversationalists, we are readers. And then we sit and discuss the books. My daughter-in-law, also same subject, my sons. So, I find that even if one parent reads, it makes a difference. So talking about theatre, that's when it came in. I said, okay, for me, teaching, my teaching has to be very alive in the classroom. Whatever I'm teaching, the children have to be able to feel. Just by listening to the voice, they've got to be able to understand. So theatre came in there, storytelling came in there. When I had to tell them something, because remember there used to be a story called Mark of Vishnu.
Yes, I loved that story. Khushwant Singh.
Khushwant Singh.
Yeah.
So, that's 1 year, my younger son was my student. The elder one was in a different section, I never taught him. But my younger son was my student. He says, Mom, we love the way you started it. Because, before I picked up Mark of Vishnu, I spoke to them about the different symbols that we as Hindus put on our foreheads and what each of them means. I spoke to them what a satire is. I spoke to them about humor, irony. That was my contribution to that text. So I said, now with all this background, let's read this story and you tell me where you fit this in. So you have to have lot of within you. When you read stories, there is so much you can bring out in the classroom. Let me share another story with you. We all begin by learning nursery rhymes.
Yes.
Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, eating her curd and whey. Along came a spider who sat down beside her and frightened Miss Muffet away. I said, okay, but before I teach the rhyme, I'm going to tell them a story.
Okay.
So there's this little girl, let's call her Miss Muffet.
Okay.
She's been out playing, the weather is good, but now she's tired, she's thirsty, and she comes running and says, Mom, I want something to drink, something to eat. So she says, okay, baby, what can I give you? She says, I want whey.
Okay.
Are you sure? Yes, I want whey. So Mama gives her whey. She says, now sit down here and eat. No, I don't want to sit here. I'll go out and sit under the tree on that little tuffet of grass.
Okay.
Tuffet?
Yes.
Whey?
Whey.
Tuffet?
Yes.
So Mama said, no, baby, don't sit there. No, I want to sit there. So Miss Muffet goes and sits on that tuffet of grass. And there's a spider watching her from the top. He says, aha, here she is again. So let me have some fun. So quietly he crawls down. And he comes and sits there and looks at her, waiting for her to notice.
Yes.
And she feels there's something. She sees the spider and she screams. She throws the whey. It's on her dress everywhere. She runs inside. Mother. She says, what happened? That spider. The spider. So she says, so what? And spider has followed her inside.
Yes.
It's come inside. So the mother says, haven't I told you not to trouble my daughter every time? Why do you trouble Miss Muffet again? The spider says, sorry.
Oh, okay.
But he's not sorry the way he says
not,
it. Sorry. He says, but I'm going to punish you. She takes a broom and she runs after him. And the spider, he's running, says, like the Spider-Man.
Scared.
He says, no, like, the Spider-Man, kaun hai wo? The one who runs. Superman. Like a Superman, he runs and he says, catch me if you can.
Okay.
And the spider runs up and sits on the corner, and that is why we find all the spiders sitting in the corner in our houses. So now, children, let us sing the rhyme about Miss Muffet.
And now they know the meaning of all the words. Right? Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
So that's how storytelling comes into the classroom.
Because otherwise, they just make the students memorize this meaningless kind of rhyme because the students don't understand.
The child is saying, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are up above the curtain." Finished.
Oh,
No,
because
but why is it star twinkling?
Twinkling.
What does twinkling mean?
yes, yes, yeah.
Like a diamond.
Like
So what
a-
is diamond? Mama's wearing in her nose.
Oh, yes.
Mama's wearing, that is a diamond. What happens? It shines.
Yes. And just like that, the stars in the sky,
Yeah.
like a diamond in
In
the,
the sky. Huh? So Rajni, that's why I like to train teachers on storytelling. I have done a lot of sessions with teachers on theatre in the classroom. When you do theatre in the classroom, Rajni, you won't believe me. One text you take up for theatre, and all your writing skills are done there. All of them. Your reading skills are done, your writing skills are done, your speaking is done. What more do you want? You're struggling, what should I take up for reading? What should I take up for speaking? How should I take that one text?
And that itself.
That
is going to solve
itself,
the purpose,
everything it does for you.
Ma'am, I've been doing speeches in my classroom. That also, is a wonderful way.
Of course,
I find that,
of course. Because see, when I say theatre, I'm not talking of having a drama kind of a thing. I'm not talking that you have to have a story being narrated there.
Yes.
It could be doing news reading,
Yes.
TV news reading.
Very good, yeah.
It could be that I'm giving Mark Antony's speech, friends, Romans, countrymen, or I'm doing Brutus's speech.
Very true. Very
You know,
true.
but how do I do it?
Yes. That
How do I do it?
dramatic element
The
has
dramatic
to be incorporated.
element is there. No, when the Brutus says, "Who is here so vile who would not love Rome?" It's not that I loved Caesar less, but it's that I loved Rome more.
Yes.
And the way he says, Mark Antony says, "Friends, Romans," people go say, "Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears." No, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So be it with Caesar.
Yeah, it gives me goosebumps. Gives me goosebumps every time.
And I've taught Julius Caesar to the ICSC classes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We organize a literary festival here. So students from 2-3 schools were here. So I explained this only. I told them the story of Julius Caesar.
Yeah. Very nice. So that's it.
So from storytelling, how did publishing happen?
It happened because of that, I suppose.
Tell
Another
us more about
thing I'd always wanted to do was to write. Okay.
So you've worn many hats, huh?
Yeah. now that you say, I realize that,
Yes.
I'd always wanted to write. As I said, like as a kid when I read stories, all the Greek mythology and everything, so, and other stories, I say, how do they find words? I have to do that. I have to do that. And then I realized that when you are reading a lot, you're absorbing so much that when you want to write something, the words automatically come to you. And then, as I said, I was a very creative observer. So all that put it together, and I wrote this. Secondly, when I was teaching, before I retired, I had these publishers come there and they'd seen me how I was sort of dealing with, I didn't teach, the lowest class I ever taught was class 11th, but I was a lot involved with the primary teachers because I said that if your foundation is not strong, then they can come to any class, language nahi aayegi.
Okay.
Because I'd seen that in college, children coming with poor language ability in class 11th and 12th, what they studied in 10th, they don't know.
Yes.
You know, at least the grammatical accuracy ought to be there. That was not there with all the grammar you've taught them. So I took interest there, and they also said, they saw my work, and they said, ma'am, will you write? I said, yes, I will. And you know, that's what got me into it, because in spite of the fact I never taught the primary classes, I could somehow, I'd been, because of my own children perhaps, because I was involved with, you know, more storytelling with them, their everything, I would actually get into the ability of the child of that age and say, okay, if I have to teach a child at this age, what do I need to teach?
Yes. Yes.
Because if that is my objective in class 11th, where do I begin? So, and what is going to be my tool? My tool is going to be the text for teaching that.
Right.
And, you know, when they saw my work, they said, ma'am, write for us. And so it all began that way, and it's been carrying on. I've been writing, and I normally create my own texts.
Okay. Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's it.
Instead of searching for graded text, it's you rewrite the text.
I
yourself.
rewrite the text myself. I get an idea, and I know where to simplify, at what level I need, you know, at how much I need to simplify or how much I need to upgrade it.
Any tips that you would like to share with teachers who want to become writers,
Yes.
who have these aspirations?
Understand your students well.
Very important.
Understand your students well. See what they are lacking. What do you expect them to have? Because somewhere that apathy is there. Ye kitab hai, we will teach and we will go. But nobody is bothering about what should the children know. I'm teaching a text, and I made them do 15 questions. Out of that, something will come. They'll be able to answer. They'll get their marks, and they might. I've had students getting highest in English without knowing a word of English, because they go to these guidebooks. They can write the answers, they give the answers that is expected, and obviously the examiner has no option but to give the marks.
Yes.
If
I
the
mean,
answer-
instead of learning the language, now people are trying to just master that formula.
No, because even other teachers would say, you know, Mrs. Rai, वो तो English तो आप देखो ना, हम तो हमारा content देख लिया, मैं उसमें ठीक है, spelling गलत तो क्या हुआ, word तो है ना, so that doesn't help. So I would tell all the teachers, even teachers who want to write other subjects, that please be very thorough with the language that you're going to write.
Yes.
Because it's going to make so much of impact on the learner. So you have to understand your learner. You have to understand the mindset of your learner. You have to understand the cognitive ability of the learner at that level, at that age. Once you have understood that, then you will consciously look for that kind of material. You will consciously develop that material.
So, some fun time, ma'am. You are an expert of grammar, and you know how Indians are known for making these kinds of mistakes, which are in fact known as Indianisms.
Yes.
So I'll say some, and please correct it and tell people that these are not this is not the correct way of saying it. You know, one that I really like is when people say I pass out of college.
Yeah. You see, the thing is, they're literally translating
Yes, yes.
from the vernacular. मैं उस स्कूल से पास होके निकला, passed out,
Yes.
okay.
Passed out.
Passed
while-
out.
Actually means that you've
Yeah, passed out means kahin
lost
gaye.
consciousness.
Another thing that I found, you know, a lot of these YouTubes, let me just share one with you. इस बाउल को उठाइए.
हाँ
Oh
जी.
God, it's not bowl, it's bowl. Bowl is something different.
Yes.
What you're doing in the morning in your bathroom.
Yes.
Okay. And they'll all say, and very confidently, so that's another Indianism we need to, actually I hope somebody is watching here and they'll be able to correct that, you know.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of Indianisms going around.
Yeah. And we write that please revert back to me.
अब वो है ना, वापस आएंगे आप मेरे पास? नहीं. What is happening is, this is the vernacular inference happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why I think in the classroom, you need to give this as error correction exercises.
Yes. Very important. Very important.
You see, I'm not saying never correct a child individually, because that can be, you know, counterproductive.
Okay.
But take on the errors that you find, keep on collecting them, and make a common worksheet for everyone.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
See, when you correct an individual child, that child withdraws.
Yes.
So make, okay, 5 errors I'm going to give in the classroom today. And when you have marked that error for a child, the other class should not know that for this child the error has been marked. Because they'll pick on it, teri galti thi, isliye madam ne diya. Nahin, that should not happen. So you should know that, okay, these are the areas where it is happening. Like, I'll give you an example. They say, madam, I'm having the book. Now, having is never used in the possession, you know.
Yes.
Your verbs of senses are never used in the ing form. And having is used as in the ing form only if you're using as a participle or a gerund,
Gerund.
but not otherwise.
Yes.
But they use it as a verb of possession.
Yes. Yes.
So these are the errors you need to mark in the
I
classroom.
mean, this is something that I have to kind of keep correcting.
Yeah.
But even
No,
teachers are using
if you,
it. So.
Rajani, if you do it in the notebook, no child is going to correct.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
It's not going to happen. So you make with just 5 errors. Don't give too many. Just give 5 errors, let them correct. Okay, now let us speak. So make them speak with the corrected form. Each one will speak a sentence of their own.
Okay. Okay. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I think I'll try that.
Yeah, try that.
Yeah.
And let me know if it helps.
Absolutely. Now let's have some fun rapid fire round, ma'am. Are you ready?
Oh, she's going to examine me. Okay.
One English word that is your favorite.
That's my favorite.
It has to be a fast answer.
It has to be favorite only, no? Because favorite is a favorite word, isn't
Yes.
it?
Oh, yes. Why not?
Disinterested or uninterested, my dear.
Favorite book of all time.
That could be a little difficult to identify. And then I'm looking across different literatures. It could be Hindi, it could be English. So there are lots of them. It's difficult to choose one book.
Okay. So tea or coffee when you are writing?
Sometimes solitude only.
No tea, coffee. Okay. One textbook that you wrote and which is your favorite?
I think the first one, your first baby is always your favorite baby, isn't
baby.
it?
I'm sure he will agree with me. So what's your proudest moment as a teacher?
Rajni, there have been many of them, many of them, where even before I became a teacher, the first one was even before I became a teacher, I was in college and a friend of mine had to miss college for a month.
Okay.
And our English professor was out of this world. Okay, so when this friend came back and she says, "I'll come to your house and can you just do Othello with me and Arms and the Man and everything?" No, we're doing Apple Cart. We're doing Apple Cart and all that. Will you do with me? I said, yes, whatever I know. So for about 4 to 5 days, 3 hours at a time, I did with her. And the compliment came. So I felt I was sitting in Denise's class.
Okay, that was
a very proud moment. Second moment, after that I've had lots of them. And one which stands out is this youngster coming to me. He was in class 12 and he said, "Ma'am," he used to stammer a bit. He says, "Ma'am, I want to talk to you." I said, "Okay, sit. What about?" He says, "Ma'am, you know my problem." I said, "Yes. But ma'am, I want to join Merchant Navy and I have to go for an interview. How will I do it?"
Okay.
So I asked him, "What happens to you in the classroom when you speak? You are afraid that they'll laugh at you?" I said, "Yes." "Do you think others are better than you? You're all in the same boat.
Yes.
Ask me as a teacher.
Yes.
If you have this problem, somebody else has some other problem.
Some other problem. Yeah.
So you don't need to do that." "Okay, ma'am." Then on his register, I just wrote, I said, "Look, remember this mantra. I can, therefore I can."
Okay. Yes.
He says, "Ma'am, speak more on this. So I told him, you have to tell yourself you can. The moment you tell yourself, you will do it. This is not top manifestation ki baat karo.
Exactly.
So I said, you do that. Years later, I get a call. And you know how he introduces, ma'am, I can, therefore I can. This boy lectures in the Naval Academy.
Wow. So from there to there.
Don't you think it's a proud moment for me?
It is.
And there's so many of them.
Yeah.
So many of them, you know, when I think
I
back,
can totally
I think back and they all
understand.
come back to me as, you know.
In so many years, you have
I don't know
helped
how many,
transform the lives of so many students.
I mean, almost 45, 50 years of being in the profession. So you can
When you
imagine.
said you did your MA in 69,
69.
I got this shock of my life.
Yes, I did my MA in 69. So that's it.
We were not even born at that time, so I can totally understand. Yeah. So finally, what's you know, anyone who is listening today, what's one thing that you want them to remember from today's talk? Yeah.
Those who want to learn to speak English, just go ahead and speak, because get fluency first. Accuracy will set in. Because when you speak, you can't speak without listening.
It has been so wonderful talking to you, Alka ma'am. I am so grateful that you could make it.
Thank you so much, Rajni. Such a pleasure.
Yeah.
And I've really enjoyed this chit chat with you.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
And to all our listeners out there, I'm sure you enjoyed our chit chat together. I hope you were taking notes. Till we meet next time, keep speaking in English, keep making mistakes, and keep laughing away. Thank you so much.
Just before talking about mistakes, before you switch off, mistakes are very important. You don't make mistakes shows you haven't made an effort. क्योंकि याद रखना, गिरते हैं शह सवारी मैदान जंग में, वो क्या गिरेंगे जो घुटनों के बल चले. So errors are very important for your success. Make them, correct them, move ahead. God bless you and thank you.
Thank you so much. घुटनों के बल नहीं चलना है. And if you liked it, do share, like, comment, subscribe. We'll hear from you. Thank you.